An angel told me to find my call. I'm here to offer mine art for all. No devils hold you inside a wall. Out in the open, mine art for all. The rainbow hints to God's colored hall. Go there in paintings, mine art for all.
Well, hello, I'm Barbara Mendes. Welcome to my art gallery. There is so much art to see. Have a look.
Find my call. I'm here to offer mine art for all. No devils hold you inside a wall. Out in the open, mine art.
This painting is called Acher, and it illustrates one of the most famous stories in the Talmud. It tells the story of Acher, who was a person that when 4 rabbis were so elevated that they went to heaven, and only one came back whole, Rabbi Akiva, but Acher lost his faith, and this painting tells the stories involved. For example, Acher rides his horse on Shabbat, which is forbidden, but he warns his beloved teacher, Rabbi Meir, not to transgress walking outside the city. This painting is the book of Daniel, and it tells everything in the book of Daniel, which consists of 6 narrative chapters and 6 visionary chapters. And in the narrative chapters, we follow the story from the destruction of the temple and the taking away of the wise men, including Daniel, up to Babylon, where King Nebuchadnezzar has this awesome blue-painted palace. And then in the narrative stories, we say many famous stories, such as the fiery furnace. Although my favorite chapter is 4 with a giant dream tree that shelters everyone, but an angel chops it down. It's a dream of Nebuchadnezzar. Chapter 5, we have the famous writing on the wall, which even Rembrandt painted. Chapter 6 features the lion's den. Then we jump into the visionary chapters, which I have wheeled back to chapter 7 because it's in the reign of this king. Now the visionary chapters are so insane, they make science fiction look tame. So I urge everyone to read the book of Daniel, and there are many resonances in literature in the book of Daniel. You always see references to it. So I've summed it all up in a bright, colorful way to bring to the people the book of Daniel. This painting is called the Shabbat Queen. What is the Shabbat Queen? It's a metaphor for Friday night. When the dusk comes down and it gets dark, it becomes Shabbat, and we call it a Shabbat Queen. We're looking from the north of Israel in this painting, and we see the rabbis come out to the mountainside to welcome the Shabbat Queen. And we see the Shabbat Queen looming over the land of Israel, and the sky is filled with angels and color, the light of God. This painting is called the Queen of Cosmos, and the Queen of Cosmos is my metaphor for one God, which we can look at in a female way. And the Queen of Cosmos rules over everything. Behind her we see angels and futuristic visions. In the foreground we see the grid of Los Angeles, crammed with every person in my life that I could possibly paint, including my childhood and all the images and people and even cartoon characters who've inspired me in my life. This painting is called The Revelation of Psyche. It was done in 1986, and it celebrates female sexuality because it was done when I was in my 30s at that height. Now, this painting has lived for 30 years rolled up under a bed, but it's currently on display thanks to my very talented filmmakers, Nicole Zwerin and Bruno Galliano, who used it in the recent film The Blinking Game, and that's why we have it on display currently.
Daddy, look, a vagina.
That's not a vagina. How do you even know what that is anyway?
Health class. The eggs are produced in the ovaries.
That's enough. That's enough. Good.
It's just biology, Daddy. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
This painting is called Anna, and it's a takeoff on Anna Karenina by Tolstoy, of course, but it's woven in with my own life. We're going again back to the 80s and when I was practically living that book, so that we see scenes from my life and we see scenes from the book, the famous Under the Train. And it's just a very romantic, very fanciful painting with things in it that you don't quite know. They're symbolic, they're metaphorical, and it's Anna. Now we're looking at the Vayikra mural, which is a giant comic strip showing everything in the third book of the Bible, the book of Leviticus. So it's 859 tiny little comic stories. Each one is a verse in the book of Leviticus. And I use a comic technique which shows every time that God is talking and every time that Moses is talking, and also incorporates these sections of the week that the Jewish people read every week. And at a later time, we're going to go through this mural and I will do some more explaining about it to you on camera. For today, I want to thank you so much for visiting my gallery, which is known as the Ivan Gallery, and is also known as the Barbara Mendes Gallery, and is located on Barbara Mendes Square and South Robertson Boulevard in Los Angeles. So please visit the gallery, and thank you for today.